Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. Just 3 weeks ago, Manchester United faced Liverpool at Old Trafford. That meeting was in the FA Cup quarter-final, and it was one to remember as the Red Devils won it added on time in extra time to win 4-3. And in 21 days since, so much has changed for Manchester United. They are winless in two after late goals conceded against Brentford in the 1-1 draw at the GTEC Community Stadium, and the collapse at the Bridge as two goals were conceded in the 100th and 101st minute thanks to former Blue Cole Palmer. It now leaves United 12 points off Villa in fourth, and behind them are West Ham, who are on the same points as Manchester United in seventh position. Liverpool are in brilliant form with that FA Cup defeat to United being just their one defeat in their last 24 in all competitions. They came through a slight scare in midweek at Sheffield United as Sheffield United held them at 1-1 until a McAllister thunderstrike gave Liverpool the lead in the 75th minute, and they added to that through Gakpo to make it 3-1 in the 90th minute. United are undefeated this season against Liverpool as the reverse fixture in the league saw a 0-0 draw at Anfield. The last loss United suffered to today's opponents was back in March 2023 when they were defeated by 7 goals to nil. So for the 64th Premier League meeting between these two sides, can United stop Liverpool's title push, or can Klopp's farewell tour keep pushing towards a second Premier League title? That is what is up for grabs this season for Liverpool in their last campaign under Jurgen Klopp. They have won just the one Premier League in their history. It came under Klopp. It was back in the COVID season in the 2019-2020 campaign. It's not a two-horse race this time around though with Manchester City. It's a three-horse race as Arsenal are also involved. Both of those two sides won yesterday, which means it's an even bigger fixture for Liverpool, even though they don't need to be made much bigger when it's Manchester United against Liverpool. It is the biggest fixture in English football. I mean, some might debate that, but it's one of the biggest historically anyway. And Liverpool got a huge task at Old Trafford. It's just so strange because obviously 3 weeks ago Manchester United won that historic FA Cup fixture in extra time. But then since then they've just slipped off so badly, and now the table's turned and they're without momentum, and Liverpool are after winning a couple of games since that FA Cup defeat. It's just it can go. It's funny how football can change so quick, but Manchester United have definitely got to look back at that FA Cup game and just take that game as something that they can build from. Yes, it was a couple of weeks ago now, but it's not a very different Liverpool side they're facing. Just one change for Liverpool from that lineup that they played against Manchester United in the FA Cup. It's Gomez out, and Conor Bradley in. And for Manchester United, it's 3 changes from that last FA Cup lineup against Liverpool. The 2 centre backs have changed. Lindelof and Varane are out, so Maguire and Cambuala play. And the other change is McTominay. He's also out of the matchday squad completely, and it's Casemiro in for this one. So it is a couple of changes here and there, very similar for Liverpool, but it's more forced changes for Manchester United. Of course, Liverpool, Lindelof and Varane out injured. Varane came off at Brentford. I'm pretty sure came off at Brentford, and then it's all. Came off against Chelsea. Came off in both actually. See me getting confused. Came off in both games actually, Varane, which has been a constant issue for him and Manchester United since he's joined. When he's playing and he's in the squad, a lot of the times he has to come off injured, and came off against Chelsea, and then he was replaced by Evans, who then came off injured as well. He was then replaced by Cambuala, and that is why the French centre-back is playing in his first start at Old Trafford. The 19-year-old, who's only started once this season for Manchester United, and it was on his debut away at West Ham back on the 23rd of December, but it's his first start at Old Trafford tonight, so it's a big occasion for the 19-year-old centre-back who will be playing alongside Harry Maguire, who's had a decent season this year, it's fair to say. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of scrutiny on him last season. He didn't have a great campaign. The captaincy was took off him, but it does seem like he's definitely improved in his performances somewhat, especially compared to last season. I don't think it could get much worse, but he's definitely put in a few solid performances here and there. Harry Maguire, remember the one away at Aston Villa, played pretty well in that one. So they are both sets of players in the Old Trafford tunnel. They will be led out by Bruno Fernandes and Virgil van Dijk. Which team would you play professionally for? If I had to choose any team to play for, who would I pick? You know what? Let me think about that one. I'm gonna have a think, and I'll get back to you. Let me have a think on that one. As like I say, that 3 weeks since that 4-3 FA Cup quarter final between the two. United got off to a pretty quick start, took the lead in the 10th minute, but then 2 goals right before half-time from McAllister and Salah gave Liverpool the lead, and you thought that probably was going to be that for the game. You thought Liverpool would probably only add to the lead, but they couldn't do that in the second half, and then United nicked one late through Anthony, and then the extra time happened where we had Elliott give Liverpool the lead again, and then they were pegged back through Rashford, and then that ridiculously late winner through Amad Diallo was just, put the icing on the cake for what was an unbelievable FA Cup tie. But this is completely different now. It's the league. Both teams have got something to play for. Manchester United are trying to get Champions League. I think that's just out of touch, even though Tottenham and Aston Villa are dropping points. I do think that's just out of reach. Sorry about that, just slight little interruption. But we're going to go through both sides now. I don't know what I was talking about, but we'll go through the lineups now. And it is just 2 changes for United from their lineup against Chelsea. Onana remains in goal, back 4 of Wan-Bissaka, Campoala making his first start at Old Trafford alongside Harry Maguire, and Dalot at left back making his 99th Premier League appearance. 2 holding midfielders of Casemiro and the 18-year-old Kobbie Mainoo, who just turned 19 in 12 days' time. 3 behind the striker. On the right is Alejandro Garnacho making his 50th Premier League appearance. On the left is Marcus Rashford, who returns to the starting 11 after coming off the bench against Chelsea. And in behind the striker, looking for his 50th Premier League goal, is Bruno Fernandes. And up front, leading the line, is Rasmus Højlund, who has scored 7 league goals. They all came consecutively from Boxing Day to the 18th of February. He did miss 4 games, though, from late February to the start of March. He needs to get back scoring goals for Manchester United. And for Liverpool, it is 1 change from their last lineup against United in the FA Cup. There's 3 changes from their lineup against Sheffield United in the league, and Kelleher still remains in goal with a back 4 of Conor Bradley at right back. Jarrell Quansah is one of those 3 changes from Sheffield United. He replaces Canate. He'll play alongside captain Van Dijk, and back in at left back, who started the FA Cup game against Manchester United, is Andy Robertson. Wataru Endo returns back after missing midweek completely. 2 midfielders in front of him is Alexis McAllister, who scored that second goal against Sheffield United, which was an absolute beauty. He plays alongside Dominic Szoboszlai. And the 3 up front on the right is Mohamed Salah, the leading scorer in this fixture of all time. He has got 13 goals against Manchester United in 14 appearances in all competitions. And on the left is Luis Diaz, who scored the equaliser against Brighton last Sunday in their Premier League game, their last one that they played on last weekend. And up front, through the middle, is Darwin Núñez, who scored a pretty fortunate goal on Thursday night, blocking that clearance from the Sheffield United goalkeeper. But he's now got 4 in his last 6 that he's played in. Darwin Núñez hitting a bit of goal-scoring form. They could do with him doing that again. He scored a brace against Manchester United last season in that 7-0 win back in March. Can he get back on the score sheet once again, the Uruguayan? As that goal in midweek against Sheffield United was Darwin Núñez's 20th in the Premier League within the last season, 1 season and 3 quarters that he's played in this division. And there is Klopp and Ten Hag embracing the head-to-head between these two. It's actually Ten Hag who has won the majority of... it's actually Klopp who's just won the majority of the games. Klopp's won 3, Ten Hag's won 2. Both those 2 wins for Ten Hag has come at Manchester United. 2 of Klopp's 3 wins against Ten Hag was when the Dutchman was at Ajax. It was 2-1-0 defeats in the Champions League. But what will we get today is it's Manchester United's kick-off, kicking left to right. Liverpool right to left. It's Manchester United with kick-off as Onana goes long up towards Mainu, headed forward by Szoboszlai, controlled in the centre circle by Dalot, played out to the right wing here by Casemiro, chested down by Garnacho on halfway, who's facing his own goal, being chased down by Robertson. He finds Dalot, who can only touch it into McAllister, who goes out to the left wing here to Diaz. Robertson overlaps. Diaz goes inside. It's cut out by Fernandes ahead of Szoboszlai, and Casemiro's hurried clearance can only find Conor Bradley at right back. He'll bring it forward into the final third. He lays it off to Mohamed Salah on the far side for Liverpool. It's a quick start from both. As it's Van Dijk on the ball here for Liverpool. Salah down the line looking for Szoboszlai, goes down over the challenger Maguire, but he gets straight back up and Maguire shields the ball but can't stop Szoboszlai from getting a kick to it, and eventually it falls here to Casemiro, who can clip. It's with Quansah down the right hand side for Liverpool, cut out by Rashford, who plays it forward to Fernandes. Garnacho's through, but he's mistimed his run. He'll be offside here. He goes through on goal, rounds the goalkeeper, slots it home, but the flag will go up for offside. He went very early there, Garnacho. Don't necessarily think that Bruno Fernandes could have played that pass any quicker, in all honesty, but that's definitely a warning sign for Liverpool. They gave away the ball down the right hand side, and they were left pretty vulnerable down the middle. Endo had drifted to the right hand side, and McAllister couldn't cover in time, so Fernandes entered the Liverpool half, played it through down the middle of the pitch. Garnacho latched on, rounded the goalkeeper, but he'd just gone early. The Argentine, who scored a brace in the week against Chelsea. It's his third brace of the season. He scored twice against West Ham at home and also against Aston Villa, as well as Quansah gives it away to Casemiro. Out to the left here to Fernandes in the final third. He enters the box onto his left side. He can't get around Quansah. Brilliant defending from the youngster. And it will be a goal kick for Liverpool. Made up for his error there, Jarell Quansah, giving the ball away, the England under-21 international. And he had to be careful there as Fernandes entered the box. Didn't want to give anything away. But he was able just to see the ball out, shrug Bruno Fernandes off the ball, and he'll clip this one long here, Quansah. It's nodded down by Nunez into Salah on the right wing. Diaz wants to get in behind here. He goes for Szoboszlai instead on the left, who's enters the box. Szoboszlai, big save, Onana. An outstretched left arm stops that ball going in the back of the net. Salah puts it back in from the left-hand side this time. It's touched away by Maguire and volleyed by Rashford into Van Dijk inside his own half, who just hooks it forward. Salah heads on, diving header away from Maguire up towards Højlund, who loses out to McAllister. And it's now on this near side with Andy Robertson. An electric start in this game as Robertson crosses early in towards Nunez, cleared by Maguire. Back out to McAllister on this near side for Liverpool as they stay in the United half. His pass deflects off Garnacho, and it's a throw in for Liverpool. Such a good ball that from Salah. Diaz, of course, playing on the left wing. He made his run towards the right, which opened the space on the left for Szoboszlai to go on his own. And there's probably arguments that he should have scored, but you've got to respect a good save when you see one, and that's a really good save from Andre Onana, making himself big and saving the ball. As Szoboszlai was searching for his fourth Premier League goal of the season, as Liverpool have lost it from the throw-in, but Fernandes gives it away, but he's fouled from behind. Just a shove in the back there from Wataru Endo, and it's Manchester United with a free kick in their own half here. As in terms of a head-to-head, Liverpool have won 4 of the last 6 Premier League meetings against Manchester United, and they've all had lots of goals for them when they've won, winning 4-2, 5-0, 4-0, 7-0. So it's definitely a fixture that Liverpool have enjoyed in recent times in terms of goal scoring, but some of the results haven't gone their way. Most recently, the 2 we've had this season, the 0-0 at Anfield, which is highly frustrating for Liverpool, and then the 4-3 heartbreak in the FA Cup, as it put an end to Klopp's potential quadruple. As United got it midway inside the Liverpool half on the far side with Wan-Bissaka, who's playing at left back again tonight. Casemiro, 1-2 Wan-Bissaka, who reaches the ball here on the edge of the area, can't get away from McAllister, but the touch falls back to Wan-Bissaka here. It's now to this near side to Dalot. Got Garnacho in front of him, finds the Argentine. Dallo then overlaps. Garnacho drives on the inside, lifts it through towards Mainu, who can't quite beat Endo to the ball. Eventually cleared by Robertson. Only finds Casemiro. Straight back out to the right flank to Dallo. Low ball into Mainu. Again, touch just gets away from him. Eventually cleared by Robertson. Met by a strong challenge there. Diaz by Camboire, but it falls straight through to Robertson, who goes down the line to Nunez, who's breaking away on the left-hand side for Liverpool. Slips on the edge of the box, and he's tackled by Harry Maguire. Lost his footing there, Darwin Nunez. Really good challenge that from Camboire earlier on in the play. But unfortunately, as Camboire tackled the ball, it fell straight back to Robertson, who found the space down the left for Nunez, maybe where Camboire should have been if he didn't make that really aggressive but quite clean slide tackle. But 5.5 minutes in, people said that we weren't going to get as an exciting game as the FA Cup because it's the league game, there's a bit more on it, there's points involved, you don't want to give away too much. But it's been pretty end-to-end in the opening 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes played here as it's on the far side with Wan-Bissaka over the halfway line, tackled though by Bradley. Heavy touch gives it away to Casemiro, fires it in behind here for Højlund. Touched away by Van Dijk, but straight to Bruno Fernandes, who drifted to this far side for Manchester United. Down the line to Rashford, gets it back to Bruno Fernandes. He's got Conor Bradley try to tackle him, but he can work it backwards to Wan-Bissaka. Now Casemiro to the left again here to Bruno Fernandes. It's with Rashford to the right to Casemiro, lays it off for Bruno Fernandes. First time switch out to the right to Garnacho. That's a brilliant pass. Garnacho can run one-on-one at Robertson if he wants to. He goes down the line towards the byline, crosses it in, and it comes off the right leg of Van Dijk and behind for a corner. And despite the way that they lost the game on Thursday, Manchester United have started very positively, as we're going to get a booking here. Conor Bradley yellow carded. He put a strong challenge in on Rashford as he played it to Fernandes earlier on in the move, just beyond the halfway line. Bradley went in and definitely didn't get the ball and certainly took out Marcus Rashford, and that's a rightly given yellow card there by tonight's referee Anthony Taylor, who gave out just the 2 yellow cards last week in the fixture between Manchester City and Arsenal. He's already given one out today, and we're only 7 minutes in. We're going to get a retake of the corner as the first one was put in at the near post by Fernandes, straight off the head of Robertson, out for another corner. Needs a better delivery this time, Bruno Fernandes, as Manchester United have started strongly here. 3 points for them would put them 6 behind Spurs in 5th, who do play later on at home to Nottingham Forest. The cross goes in, it's a better one, it's a well-won header again there, I think, by Robertson. Drops to the far side here to Rashford, who goes back to Wan-Bissaka. Everyone's still behind the ball here for Liverpool. It's now in the centre circle with Dallo. Wants to try and go forward, goes across instead to Onana, who's in a right-back position here, well out of his goal, but he can clip it over the top here. What a ball that is! But it's headed back on the edge of the box by Van Dijk to Kelleher. If that had gone beyond Van Dijk, though, Garnacho was in. So we're 8 minutes in. Szoboszlai, that's a poor ball into the midfield, picked up by Casemiro. The intended target was McAllister. It's Fernandes forward now to Rasmus Højlund, getting his first few touches of the ball here. He's got Garnacho to his right in the box. He finds him. Garnacho on a tight angle, tried the cross, blocked by Robertson again. And it's another corner. This is exactly what Ten Hag would have wanted as a response to the defeat on Thursday away at Chelsea. Very poor conditions in Manchester in terms of the weather. Very windy and very wet. Non-stop rain in the build-up for the game. There's a Fernandes outswinger. It's a bit of a deeper one this time. Well, one header by Nunez. Drops to the edge of the box to Rashford, who completes a 1-2 Wan-Bissaka. It's back out to the left side here to Rashford, who can keep the ball in, but it's taken off him by Bradley. Then trips the Northern Irish right back, but he continues playing. But the referee never played the advantage, and it's a free kick for Liverpool in a right back position. Defended well there, Conor Bradley on Marcus Rashford, who's on 8 goals this season in all competitions, Marcus Rashford. And this time last season in all competitions, Rashford had 20 more goals. That's what Manchester United are missing out on this year. 20 more goals from Marcus Rashford. He's 20 less off, which is a bad downturn in form. I know 30, that he scored last season is a ridiculous, it's a ridiculous return, but to not even get anywhere near it again, to score only 8, it does show why Manchester United have struggled a bit more for results, because they are missing those goals from their number 10. As we're going down the Liverpool right here, Mainu out muscles McAllister, but the clearance comes straight off McAllister, and Nunez will take over on the right wing. Salah's arriving late at the far post. He finds him, he volleys it towards goal, and it comes off Wan-Bissaka, and it'll be a corner this time for Liverpool. Can't really say it was an error from Kobbie Mainoo. It was slightly unfortunate. He's gone to clear it forward, but McAllister was in his way, and it deflected through for Nunez, who on the byline just about kept the ball in and crossed it. Salah volleyed, Wan-Bissaka blocked. And it's a Liverpool corner here. They've come under early pressure, the away side, but they've got an opportunity of their own to try and get themselves ahead. Robertson, outswinger, nearly headed on by Diaz. It goes to the far post here to Salah in the corner of the box, lays it off to the edge here to Szoboszlai, who shoots. And he was aiming for the top left corner, and it's only just gone over, not too far away from the Hungarian. Salah laid him off. Szoboszlai hit it. It's not far away at all, that one. Not at all from Dominik Szoboszlai. As it is important to mention, only 3 points today for Liverpool puts them top. If it's a draw, they would stay in second on goal difference. Arsenal have got a very superior goal difference to Liverpool, who attack again here. It's in a central area with McAllister about 25 yards from goal. Goes back out to the left there to Diaz. He's got Garnacho stood in front of him. Diaz can work a switch out to the right here to Bradley. Quansah's in support from the back. He finds Quansah, who goes across to Van Dijk on halfway. He's been closed down here by Højlund. Van Dijk will keep it, plays it forward with his left foot. Nice pass to Diaz, who's got time on the ball here. It's now with McAllister. Everything to his right now for Robertson, who's on the ball. Finds Endo, who missed the Sheffield United game completely on Thursday. Wataru Endo, but he wasn't needed in the end, although it was a difficult fixture for Liverpool altogether. I think 3-1 doesn't really show the strong performance Sheffield United put on Thursday. They defended really well, obviously got their equaliser as well with half an hour to play, and if it wasn't for that McAllister thunderbolt, it would have been interesting to see where that game would have gone. As it's still with Liverpool on the ball, with their back two centre-halves of Quansah on it. Goes to the right back of Bradley, back into Quansah as we're aiming back towards the 18-yard box of Liverpool's, and we're in it now with Kelleher on the ball. Relays it into Quansah, who will put a high ball down the right channel, looking for Nunez, who loses out aerially to Maguire. Helped forward, though, by Endo, controlled by Salah, tackled by Wan-Bissaka, headed forward, though, by McAllister, and Liverpool are away. Szoboszlai through for Nunez, can't quite find the run of Diaz to his left. A key interception there from Diogo Dalot. And it will be a corner on the far side for Liverpool as the table just starts to turn into Liverpool's favour. He was certainly onside there, Nunez, played on by Dalot, who got across well to stop that pass going through to Luis Diaz, who would have been on his own one-on-one with Onana in the box. It looks like it's going to be a right-footed outswinger here from Szoboszlai. He'll go short instead here to McAllister. And back down the line for Szoboszlai. McAllister here again on his weaker left foot. Just plays it to the edge to Endo. Then back out to the right to Szoboszlai. Will the cross ever come in here for Liverpool? As they get across the box, it deflects away from Diaz. He eventually gets the layoff from Nunez. Diaz wants to shoot. Can't quite do so yet. He works himself out wide to the left wing here. And he goes back to back to Bradley. And across to the centre of the midfield here to Endo. Bit of a waste for Liverpool that the cross never actually made its way in from that short corner routine. As the midway side of the United half, they go back to Robertson through Diaz. So now with the number 4 of Virgil van Dijk, making his 15th appearance against Manchester United, scoring just the once back in the 2019-2020 season in the 2-0 home win against United, the campaign where they last won and only won the Premier League. Endo lifts it into Szoboszlai over the head of Casemiro. Szoboszlai turns, looking out to the right flank, using Bradley. It goes back into Szoboszlai. Bradley makes a run forward. Endo then tries to feed that run, but it's headed away. Oh, it's missed by Wan-Bissaka, but on the cover, Maguire will play it to the left back here of Fernandes, who can clear it off McAllister. Clear it off Bradley, sorry. And that'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. Like I say, Bruno Fernandes finding himself in a left full-back position there, helping Harry Maguire out to try and get that ball away from danger. But they've won themselves a goal kick. Just under 15 minutes in, United started very well, opening 6 to 7 minutes, but the last five or so minutes, Liverpool have started to get their foot in the game. That's with the right centre-half here of Camboire. First ever start at Old Trafford for the 19-year-old. As Dalot goes long up towards halfway, chested down by Van Dijk to Endo, ahead of Højlund. And it's now with Conor Bradley, just inside his own half. Goes back to Quansah. Lots of time on the ball here for the youngster who switches it out to the left. It's a inviting ball, and Robertson will keep it in with the header, but headed away by Camboire, then headed forward by McAllister. That was some leap from the Argentine, and he gets the ball back from a failed header from Camboire. Nunez's pass, though, cut out, and it's now with Rashford. Good feet, and then he feeds it through for Højlund, who's in behind it. Van Dijk's coming across to cover. Højlund in the box. Angle's tight. He's now got his back to goal, forced away from goal. Good defending from Van Dijk. But he works it to Rashford, then out to the left wing to Fernandes. So the attack is well and truly still on here as Fernandes can't slip it through for Wan-Bissaka. But Rashford slides in and can't quite keep it in. And it's a throw-in for Liverpool. Højlund was away, but Van Dijk forced him away from goal and made Højlund go backwards, and eventually the counter-attack died down there for Manchester United, who have won 3 of their last 5 at home. Against Aston Villa on Boxing Day, then West Ham at the start of February, and then the most recent home win was against Everton at the start of March. And Manchester United had won 4 games in a row in the Premier League before this run now, where they've only won 1 of their last 5, which isn't fantastic for the Red Devils. As we're back with the action, Dalot tried to go in behind there for Fernandes, but he was offside on the edge of the box. He was asking for a penalty, a pull on him from Bradley, but he was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. So, back underway. Kelleher on the ball for Liverpool in the 18-yard box. His 2 appearances against Manchester United in his career, Kelleher, have come today and in the previous one in the FA Cup. And he plays it to the right centre-half here of Quansah, who started 5 of the last 8 now in the Premier League. It's Quansah on the halfway line. He's seen a ball in behind here for McAllister, and that is a beautiful ball. He chests it down, McAllister. The ball drops for him. He lays it backwards here to Szoboszlai, who from afar wants to shoot. Blocked by the slide tackle of Casemiro. Drops now for Fernandes, who works it to the left-hand side, nowhere near Rashford. Picked up by Bradley. Inside for Salah, who's midway inside the United half. Goes to his left to McAllister. They've got men over here as they find it. Out to Robertson, who squares it through to Szoboszlai, who's sliding in. Slides it wide. A good opportunity in there for the away team. Brilliant delivery in from Robertson, who assisted Gakpo's goal against Sheffield United on Thursday. And he's almost got another assist there. Szoboszlai from around 8 yards out, entering the box. Just couldn't steer it on target. It's hit his heel more than it has the side of his foot, which has led to the ball going quite far wide in the end. But it's a half opportunity for Liverpool as the rain continues to fall here in Manchester. Onana goes long. It comes off the head of Van Dijk, then off Højlund. We're rather fortunate, but he drops for Mainu, who's bullied to the ground there by Van Dijk. He's been told to get up by Anthony Taylor. It's now Robertson in the left-back position, forced to go back here to Queevy and Kelleher. As for Liverpool, this is their 49th game in all competitions. Their 50th will be on Thursday in the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final against Atalanta of Italy. It's Kelleher on the edge of the box. He wants to go long here. He'll send it out towards the Liverpool left. It's controlled beautifully, though, by Dalot. No one really around him, though, in a Liverpool shirt. Not quite sure what that pass was aiming towards there for Kelleher. So Wan-Bissaka lifts it down the left-hand side to Fernandes. Tries to return the ball, but he's met by a crunching tackle from Quansah. That is a brilliant challenge. And there'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. It's been a very open and rather entertaining opening 20 minutes here. And at left back, it'll be Aaron Wan-Bissaka to take the throw-in. And then they lose it as Wan-Bissaka on the return ball touched it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in this time. Conor Bradley still getting his run of games in the side due to the Alexander-Arnold injury. Conor Bradley did come off the bench in the FA Cup game and assisted the Elliott goal, which put them 3-2 up in extra time. As Liverpool have switched it to the left-hand side here, Robertson with loads of space to run into. On the edge of the box, he's going to let fly and drag it quite far wide in the end. Good 5 yards or so. He's really not caught hold of that. Andy Robertson, who's just on the 1 goal so far this season. Didn't score any last season, so it's an improvement on that. If he does score, it'd be his 10th Liverpool goal and his 10th in the Premier League. Football Edits, hi bro, I hope you're okay. Hope everyone is enjoying this commentary. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. We've got some more commentaries coming up in the week. You can see going across screen at the minute. We've got on the Wednesday, Ipswich against Watford in the Championship, as the title race in the Championship is really heating up. And then we're also covering Bayer Leverkusen against West Ham in the Europa League on the Thursday night, as I really want to watch Bayer Leverkusen. Not watched them many times this season, but still unbeaten in the entire campaign under Xabi Alonso. And it looks like they are walking themselves to a Bundesliga title. It's with Manchester United, though, on the edge of their box here with Harry Maguire, who scored once against Liverpool. It was away from home at Anfield for Leicester. It ended 1-1 in the 2018-2019 season. It was actually an important goal in the end because Liverpool lost that league by just a point. It was a big goal at the time, scored by Harry Maguire. It was just before the break, I believe, in that one, as he chips it out to the right-back position where Camboire plays it forward to Garnacho. Can't turn away from McAllister on halfway. And McAllister's got Diaz free in space on the left. He's going to hold it up and then eventually play it through to him in the box. He squares it, but it's well cut out there by Camboire. Does deflect back out to Diaz, who goes inside to McAllister. Lays it off for Endo. Dinks it in behind looking for Salah, but it comes off the head of Mainu. And it'll be a corner on the far side for Liverpool. Not really creating too much now, Manchester United, as Liverpool have settled into the game. Liverpool would love a lead, that is for sure. It would take them back to the top of the Premier League. As it stands, they are level on points with Arsenal on 71. As it's an in-swinger from Robertson to the near post. It's flicked on by Nunez and finished by Diaz at the far post. Liverpool have their lead, which takes them to the top of the Premier League. From the corner. They had been going without swinging corners to begin with, but that one was a left-footed in-swinger from the far post. It was flicked on by Nunez to Diaz at the far post, who from 6 yards out, all alone, could work a right-footed finish into the back of the net. Nunez got away from Wan-Bissaka, and then the flick to the far post fell to Diaz, who was all on his own. Who is marking Luis Diaz? I'm not entirely sure. Brilliant win of the header from Nunez. Good volleyed finish from Diaz. Bit of a scissor motion with the finish. Kicked it into the ground beyond Onana as it zipped off the turf. And after an okay start for United, Liverpool have really grown into this one, started to dominate, and they've got a goal just over 23 minutes in here. As it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. Brilliant finish from Diaz, who scored this time last week against Brighton in the 2-1 win for Liverpool on Easter Sunday. And he's scored again now. He's on a real run of goals. Luis Diaz, 5 in his last 10 now in the Premier League. You know, that's the kind of goal-scoring form you want at this point in the season. A goal every 2 games. Needs to be question marks, though, of the Manchester United defence of who was marking Diaz, because he was all alone. Dalot was closest to him, but he was on the post. So I'm not sure if that was meant to be his man. I'm not too sure. But it's a brilliant finish from Diaz, who gets his 2nd goal ever against Manchester United. Scored and assisted against them in a 4-0 win at Anfield back in the 21-22 season. As we're back underway, and Liverpool are attacking again. Robertson forward from left back into the edge of the box. His first cross is dealt with by Dalot, but it deflects back to Robertson, who will try a second time. In it goes, Header won by Maguire, straight back to Robertson, who will let it go over his head and out for a Liverpool throw-in. As it's been much better from Liverpool the last 15 minutes of the game. And they were knocking at the door. And eventually they were able to knock that door down and get the opening goal. As shielding it in the corner is McAllister. Keeping it away from Garnacho, kicking it off Fernandes and winning a corner. Really good work there from Alexis McAllister, who is starting to look like one of the best signings of the season for sure. He started to look really good for Liverpool. He's also been scoring as well, McAllister. 3 in his last 6 in the Premier League. Also scored in this fixture in the FA Cup 3 weeks ago. He made it 1-1. There's an outswinging cross from Robertson again this time. It's a header away from Casemiro. Drops to the edge of the box to Szoboszlai. Wants to volley. He looks like he's been caught on the edge of the box, but the referee's not giving anything. And it can be cleared eventually by Fernandes. Put back forward by Bradley. Header away on the edge of the box by Camboire. Bit of head tennis going on here as eventually it's controlled by Casemiro's chest. Can't find Mainu. Collected back for Liverpool through Szoboszlai. Now Endo. Tackled well and fairly by Mainu. Great slide challenge. Can United counter? Højlund on the ball. Working it out to the left-hand side here to Rashford. He's got Fernandes inside to his right. Finds him. Good use of the body from Fernandes. And then he's pulled down by McAllister. And that'll be a free kick for Manchester United. Doesn't believe that's a free kick, McAllister. But Fernandes just let the ball move across his body. Feinted nicely and got away from McAllister, who just pulled him back slightly and concedes the free kick. Quite far out this, too far for a shot. Quite central though, so not much of an angle for Fernandes to work with. About 40 or so yards out. He'll curl this ball into the box here. Casemiro with the free header all the way through and it's avoided everyone. And out for a goal kick. Brilliant ball in from Fernandes. Got the weight perfect. As Casemiro was onside. Headed it across the 6-yard box and no one met it. Camboire was getting in there. Højlund was closest at the far stick. Couldn't throw himself at it. It was seen through and behind by Robertson. Such a good header though from Casemiro. And you feel like someone's got to get there for Manchester United. As Kelleher kicks it long. Volleyed forward by Camboire. Controlled by McAllister. Midway side his own half and he shifts it to the left there to Robertson. Forward to Diaz. He's got Dalot chasing him down here. Diaz going back towards his own goal here. And he tries to turn Dalot, and Dalot doesn't allow it. He wins it back. Plays it inside to Casemiro. On once more here to Fernandes. On the edge of the box. Away from Quansah. Slips it through for Højlund, who can't get away from the multiple Liverpool shirts. Eventually cleared by McAllister. Only as far as Casemiro. And United can come again here. Mainu to his right to Garnacho. In the final third. McAllister dives in, and eventually he's tackled there, Garnacho, by Nunez. And then Garnacho gives away a foul in the left-back position. As Nunez came in and tackled, Garnacho tried to keep it, so put his foot out for the ball and caught Nunez. So it's a free kick for Liverpool in the end. Doing his defensive work well there, Darwin Nunez, just caught by Alejandro Garnacho. One South American to another. But for Garnacho, he hadn't scored in his previous 8 games before scoring twice at Stamford Bridge on Thursday. Already making his 50th Premier League appearance in his career, the Argentine. As Van Dijk clears it long and high down the Liverpool left. Nunez will chase this. Camboire can't deal with it. And Nunez is in the box towards the byline. The angle's tight. He tries to poke it across. But Camboire on the recovery. Slides in. Blocks it off. And into the hands of Onana it goes. I think Van Dijk had an idea what the battle was up there. I think he knew it was Nunez against Camboire. And he fancied his teammate to get the ball ahead of the French centre-half. And that's what happened. But he couldn't quite get it to materialise to anything in the end there, Darwin Nunez. Good show of speed, though, by the 19-year-old to recover and block that cross in the 18-yard box as Garnacho in the centre circle, kicked away from him by Diaz. Now falls to Conor Bradley, right back for Liverpool. It's now with Virgil van Dijk. His 2 goals this season in the Premier League have come against 2 teams in the bottom 3, Sheffield United and Luton Town. It's back with Liverpool, winning it in the midfield through Casemiro. Dalot lifting it to the left here. Controlled by Fernandes. Caught by Endo. Free kick for Manchester United, as Manchester United have reacted pretty decently from going behind. They've not caved in. They've not faltered under the pressure of going behind. They're still in it at 1-0 after half an hour played. They definitely will be frustrated though how they've gone behind. That corner kick was too easy for Liverpool to score from. Flick on from Nunez. Finish at the far post on his own for Diaz. As with Dalot just in front of the halfway line in a right back position. Casemiro has it. First time ball over the top looking for Højlund. It's nowhere near the Dane. And he goes through into the gloves of Queeveen Kelleher, who throws it out quickly to Van Dijk on the edge of the box. Bit of a waste there by Casemiro. Just thinking too far ahead, it seems. And in fairness, Liverpool started this season slowly away from home. They only won 2 of their first 7 away games, and they were back-to-back against Newcastle and Wolves. And interestingly enough, Liverpool have won 6 of their last 7 away games in the Premier League. Their previous 6 away wins before that came over a run of 19. So they were struggling away from home, but now they're in a good run, winning 6 from 7. After only winning 6 of the 19 before that. Shows that they've definitely switched on away from home. After that's where the majority of their struggles came from last season for sure. For the 5th place finish, Liverpool's away record was pretty poor. They only won 6 in the entirety of last season away from home. They've won 8 so far this season. As United have it towards Dalot, poked out of play there by Diaz. Sold him short there, Camboala, and thankfully Diaz just kicked it out of play for Manchester United. It's Dalot with the throw-in, waiting for a bit of movement here, the Portuguese fullback. And as Dalot throws back here into the number 5 of Harry Maguire. Made over 200 appearances now for Manchester United since joining for that 80 million price tag in 2019 as he goes for a big switch out to the left to Rashford. Good touch by Rashford. Flicks it over the head of Bradley. This is brilliant from Rashford. Just outside the area. He's got Wan-Bissaka joining him. Finds him next to the corner flag. Then goes back here into Rashford. Touches heavy. Taken off him by Bradley. It's now a Quanta who needs to clear. Lifts it forward. Headed on by Szoboszlai straight to Casemiro, who goes to his right to Mainu. Overruns it into Szoboszlai. Played forward here. And then we're on the attack through Liverpool. And McAllister into the space here for Diaz. He's got Robertson on the overlap. Salah to his right. Salah first time shot. It's palmed away by Onana. And just like that, from back to front, Liverpool almost scored. Just overran it there and played it poorly, Mainu. It was Endo to play forward, then to McAllister, who set Diaz away. Again, the movement of Nunez to the left allowed the space for Salah on the right. And just as he entered the 18-yard box, Salah went first time. Couldn't quite curl it to that far corner. It was met by a save from Onana. That's Robertson, right arm in the air. It'll be an outswinger from the Scotsman. As he puts it in a bit of a deep one this time. It goes over everyone. Drops to Salah on his own. On the edge of the box, who will shoot for short. And again, parried away by Onana. Not met by many claps from the home support behind him. Because I'm not quite sure why he's had to parry that out of play. I'm sure Onana could have caught that. That's poor goalkeeping. It was going wide as well. He wasn't even going on target. As Onana Vaselines up his gloves. I'm not sure that'll help him. Just needs to catch the ball there. As they go short, McAllister to the edge of the area to now Szoboszlai. Back out wide to Robertson, who takes the touch and crosses. Dangerous ball in, and it's headed away by Maguire. Really good header that, because Quanta was coming in to try and head home for Liverpool. But they'll come again. Szoboszlai finds Nunez in the box. It's just over the bar. Aiming for the top right corner. He's just skimmed the roof of the net. A really good attempt there from Darwin Nunez, who almost scores for Liverpool again. Making his 30th start in all competitions today, Darwin Nunez. It's been the front three that Klopp's been trusting in recent weeks. The right wing of Salah, the left wing of Diaz, and then play Nunez through the middle. Got just over 10 minutes to play here. United still in it, but Liverpool definitely have been the better side and probably deserve the lead so far, but United have had chances of their own. Wan-Bissaka throws it down the line. Højlund chests it straight to Szoboszlai. He goes back to Quansah. And Liverpool can restart in their own half here with Van Dijk. Biggest chance for United was that header across goal from Casemiro. Did have the ball in the back of the net within a minute, but it was disallowed for offside. Garnacho was well offside. I mean, you know, every other version of football where we don't have VAR, the flag goes up immediately. There's a Liverpool attack here. Robertson to Szoboszlai, crosses it through. Salah on the shot. Over the bar it goes. Jurgen Klopp isn't happy that time. Salah probably should have took a touch there. He's down the left-hand side. Van Dijk forward to Diaz, then flicked it around the corner for Robertson. It's beautiful play. Robertson with all the space in the world to run into. Squared it to the edge to Szoboszlai, took a touch, played it across, and then Salah should have took a touch. He's gone for the first time attempt, couldn't get over the ball, and it's rocketed over the crossbar into the Stretford end. Yeah, Klopp literally says, take a touch. He's got to there, the Egyptian. But he doesn't. And it's another missed chance. And it's starting to look a little bit bleak now for Manchester United on the stats anyway. They're still not... They've actually yet to register a shot. Manchester United. Even though they had a positive opening 5 minutes. They've not had a shot yet. Liverpool have had, I think, 12 now. With 4 on target. Peppering the United goal, but we know from the stats recently that Manchester United have had so many shots at their own goal, just conceding way too many chances. Still got a lot of big games to come up, Manchester United. They've got Newcastle at home, they've got to host Arsenal as well, and then go away to Brighton. That can be a difficult fixture at times. Definitely not yesterday. Made it too easy for Arsenal. As it's back in play now. Mainu through for Rashford on the left. He wants to enter the Liverpool half, and he will do. Rashford knocking it forward and can't keep it in. There'll be a Liverpool throw-in. Just ran out of pitch there, Marcus Rashford. Who usually likes a goal against Liverpool. He has scored 7 against them previously. 5 in 13 in the Premier League, but just 1 in his last 5 in the league. Did score the equaliser in extra time in the FA Cup game. 21 days ago now. As Liverpool have the ball on the edge of the box. Back to Kelleher through Robertson. And to the right-hand side here now with Quansah. Back into Kelleher. Højlund's pressing. Kelleher will clear with his left foot. Not very convincing. Cut out by Camboire, who volleys forward, but it's straight back to Kelleher. As Højlund was coming back from an offside position. So Liverpool can restart from the back. As Liverpool go forward, great ball by Quansah to find Szoboszlai, lays it off of McAllister, lifts it out to the right towards Bradley, too much height on it, out of play for a United throw-in just inside their own half on the far side. Onana goes to the right side here to Dalot. Gets this one clear towards Van Dijk, who heads forward all on his own into McAllister. Nice touch and plays it to Szoboszlai, then back to Quansah. And Liverpool have really took control of this game. Like I say, United had a decent 5-minute start, winning a few corners here and there, but it's been all Liverpool for the last half an hour or so. That's with Kelleher on the edge of the box. Goes to the right side, his centre-back here of Jarrell Quansah. Over the top, down the middle, looking for Nunez. Headed down by Camboire. Put into the sky by Maguire. He'll try and head his own clearance, and he wins the header. And it's flicked away from Højlund, and it can't be kept by Mainu. And it's back with Liverpool on this near side with Robertson, who has been a very good sight to see for Liverpool, him returning for sure. He's been fantastic down that left flank in this first half. Diaz tackled well by Camboire. He stays down the Colombian, but the Frenchman won the ball for short. Camboire goes forward. United aren't kicking the ball out to play, and they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. I'd carry on playing. He's won the ball cleanly there. And they're going to stop play. And the United fans are absolutely furious that they're kicking it out. It's not a head injury. And Camboala's won the ball. Played forward by Endo. Diaz just took a touch that got away from him. Camboala came in. Won the ball fairly. Maybe slightly caught Diaz. He might have landed a little bit awkwardly as he rolls 1,000 times in the air. And I'm presuming Liverpool will give the ball back to Manchester United here. And Luis Diaz is going to be fine to continue. Good tackle that actually by Will Camboala. Diaz with that finish on the 23rd minute beyond Andre Onana. Brilliant finish from the Colombian. With less than 5 minutes to play in this first half, we're going to get back underway. Diaz kicking it back to Maguire at the back line for Manchester United. As they've still not registered a shot on goal yet, the home side, which will be a worry for Ten Hag. That is for sure, as obviously results haven't been going his side's way in the last week or so. Camboala looking for the next pass. Not got many on, so he's been forced to go to Onana here. We know he can ping them, Onana. He goes forward to Dalot, who's just dropped into a midfield position here, and then goes across to the left to Casemiro. Lays it off for Maguire. Wan-Bissaka's forward from full-back. He goes to Rashford instead on halfway. First time ball in behind. He's going to go for Højlund. It's overhit, though. And it'll go into the gloves of Kelleher. It's the right idea from Rashford. There's just too much power on it. Højlund couldn't get there. There's Endo on the right-hand side. Skips beyond Casemiro and goes in behind here for Bradley. Rashford running back, trying to do his defensive work, but Bradley beats him to it. In the box, Conor Bradley squares it. Nunez dummies. Diaz shoots, and it's well blocked there by Dalot. And behind for a corner it goes. There's one thing for certain. Manchester United do not want to go 2-0 down here before half-time. Conor Bradley just seems like he wanted it more than Rashford. Squared it for Diaz, who shot off the left thigh of Dalot. Good block in the end there by the number 20. And this is where Liverpool scored their goal. From a corner on the far side. It was from an in-swinger from Robertson. It looks like we're going to get a right-footed out-swinger here from Szoboszlai. Constantly changing it up here, Liverpool, as the ball goes into the near post. Header won well by Rashford on Diaz. Nodded backwards, though, by McAllister to Robertson, who's furthest back for Liverpool. He'll switch it back out to the far side to Szoboszlai. Met by the header Fernandes. Controlled by Casemiro. Played back through to Fernandes again. He will go down the left channel, but no one's making the run. Garnacho stops his run, and it'll go through for Kelleher in the Liverpool defensive third. Just not on the same wavelength there. Fernandes and Garnacho. And there's not a lot to talk about for Manchester United going forward in this first half. It's been a strong display from Liverpool so far. Bradley, though, inside from the right-back position, can just about shift it away from Rashford and find Quansah, who will bring it forward from centre-back, finding Bradley again, away from Casemiro, finding Salah on the right wing, beyond Fernandes, crossing it for Nunez, and it just goes through to the goalkeeper. Seems like Nunez almost hesitated his run, which allowed Onana to get there first, and then Manchester United have just given it away immediately to Quansah on halfway. In the centre circle with McAllister, who turns nicely to keep the ball away from Højlund. Now Diaz from the left wing can't take on Dalot. And eventually United can break. 1-2 with Højlund. It's now with Fernandes. Through towards Rashford. Can't get beyond Quansah. Good reading of the game there by the number 78. As then Bradley plays down the right for Salah. Keeps it away from Maguire, who will pull down Salah. And the last touch will come off Harry Maguire. And that'll be a throw-in. Bit aggressive with the defending there, Maguire. Not enough for a foul, according to the referee. Will be a throw-in, though, in the final third here for Liverpool. Throws it towards Diaz, who's come across from the left wing position. It's now with Endo. Back it goes here to Van Dijk on halfway. And we are nearing half-time here, and Manchester United still technically haven't had a shot on goal here. Yes, they had a shot early when they had a goal disallowed for offside, which, by the way, he was miles offside. Quansah. Lifted ball over the top here for Bradley, and I think he's on. He will beat Wan-Bissaka to the ball, but he can't keep it away from him. Then Wan-Bissaka feeds it down the left-hand side here for Fernandes. Into the Liverpool half with Rashford. Inside to Casemiro. Pickpocketed by Szoboszlai. And Liverpool win it back almost immediately once again. It's now with Nunez, who's took up a left wing position here. He's going to run at Dalot here, Nunez, as he enters the box on the left-hand side. 1-2 here with Robertson, and Nunez with the shot across goal. And it goes wide. I think it was a save from Onana, but there's a flag up anyway. I think Nunez is straight onside as he went for the 1-2 with Robertson, who's making the run on the inside. Yeah, Nunez, I think, just off. Good call that from the linesman. And it was a good save by Onana as Nunez eventually got the shot off. Onana. We've had 2 minutes indicated of added on time here. Onana goes long down the Manchester United right, beyond halfway. Headed forward though by Endo. Played back by McAllister to Quansah. And once again, very, very easy. There's Manchester United. Still haven't had a shot yet. And Liverpool have had 14. 4 on target, one of them resulting in a goal. As they go long here down the Liverpool left, it's Diaz to nick the ball off Dalot. And Diaz goes across to Salah, who's took up a central area. And McAllister to Szoboszlai, who lays it through. Bradley with the shots. It's blocked again by Wan-Bissaka. And this Manchester United goal is getting absolutely peppered from all angles. And if it wasn't for some big last-ditch blocking, we could have had it more than one. Bradley that time looking for his second goal in a Liverpool shirt at senior level. Cross goes in, volleyed at the near post by Fernandes. Out of play for a throw-in. As we won't have time to take the resulting throw-in as Anthony Taylor blows for half-time here at Old Trafford, and it has been a very bleak opening 47 minutes of the game for Manchester United. They had a lively opening 5 minutes, winning a few corners here and there, but from then until the end of this first half, it has been Liverpool who have dominated the possession. They've dominated the chances. There's been some good blocks out there for Manchester United, a couple of saves from Onana, but the deadlock was broken midway inside the first half. A corner which was swung in from Robertson on the far side, flicked on at the near post by Nunez, to the far post where Diaz was all alone from 6 yards out to volley home beyond Onana as he kicked it into the ground, beyond the Cameroon goalkeeper. And here at Old Trafford, after half time, it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. Those stats are bleak. Very, very bleak. And for the start they got off to United, it was pretty good, lively. Like I say, winning those few corners, putting Liverpool under a bit of pressure. They just weren't able to match it. Liverpool got into their flow. And I think the only negative that Liverpool will have for that first half is that they're not more than one goal up. They don't want that to come and bite them later on in the game if Manchester United can stay in it at 1-0 and somehow nick a late equaliser. I mean, I know they need to have a shot to do that, but things can change in a game. You know, they might be able to get some shots off at some point, but I think for Liverpool their next aim is just get the next goal and just try and build on it. You know, 2-0 can also be a bit of a precarious scoreline, but it's better than 1 for Liverpool. So that'll be the one thing I think Klopp will tell his team, just you've got to be careful, try and get that second goal if possible. They just don't want to allow United back in the game. You know, that was a little bit of a struggle that happened in the FA Cup game. Liverpool were just 1 up, weren't able to create any more chances or take any more chances, and then, of course, they were pegged back, and then the rest is history in that game. So it is definitely a first half which Liverpool will be very happy with, but I just think that they'll want a goal or more, a goal or two more, to really kill this game off, because at the minute it doesn't look like Manchester United are going to score at all. You know, not even having a shot yet. They did have a goal disallowed in the first minute. Manchester United, a ball played through down the middle by Fernandes to Garnacho, who ran through rounded the keeper and put it in the back of the net, but it was well offside. You know, it's just the new rules, isn't it, where the flag can't go up straight away. They've got to keep the flag down and then put it up once the attack ends. But Garnacho was a good few yards offside, so that doesn't count as a shot because it was disallowed. And like I said it before, if it was any, if it was any different era of football where the flag goes up straight away, then it would have. But obviously in this day and age, they've got to keep it down and all that, so it's just one of them, isn't it? I'm just thinking for Manchester United, though, in terms of off the bench, they don't really have a lot going on. In terms of central midfield options, Christian Eriksen possibly, but he's not having a fantastic season. Mason Mount is returning. He did score in his in the game against Brentford, which they thought was the winner, but then they conceded a minute later in like the 99th minute to go and draw that one. He did come on against Chelsea as well, and that didn't go to plan on his return for Mason Mount. They've got Amari Forson, the young 19-year-old, very inexperienced. Anthony did provide an unbelievable assist on Thursday night for Manchester United to go 3-2 up, but I don't think he's very reliable in terms of someone you can bring on and know that he'll bring something. And then Amad Diallo, who got the winner against Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-final. He's only made 2 appearances in the Premier League this season, off the bench against Forest just before the new year, and then against Fulham in mid-February, which ended in defeat. So, just not a lot that would... I just don't think they've just not got a lot on the bench where if you're Liverpool, you see them come on and you go, oh, this is worrying. I just don't think they've got that off the bench, that firepower that can scare the opponent. You know, like when Liverpool bring on players, they can bring on Gakpo, Elliott, Jones, Gravenberch, Canate. You know, they're really good players. But when you look at Manchester United and what they've got, you know, Eriksen, Amrabat's had an awful loan spell from Fiorentina. Sofian Amrabat's last start in the Premier League was the reverse fixture at Anfield in mid-December. There's just not enough squad depth in there, and you know, if Ten Hag does stay, which is a big if, then they need to do some serious squad building and just try and sort this Manchester United team out, because it's just not very good. I know they've got injuries. I know Varane's out. I know Martinez is out. But I mean just more going forward in an attacking sense. They just haven't got enough going forward at the moment, and that's an issue. And they need to try and sort that out if possible. But I think also as well, Manchester United have got to see the positives and just look at it that they're not more than one down. And as well, the way they conceded is so frustrated from that corner. You know, Nunez losing his man of Wan-Bissaka, flicking it to the far post where Diaz was all alone. At the start of the move from the corner, Diaz was stood with Mainu, and then he peeled off Mainu to the far post and was all alone. But I think Mainu's job was to block any runners into the box, but no runners arrived in the box, so Mainu was just stood there almost helpless, where he probably should have stuck with Diaz instead. So I'm not really sure if that's Mainu's fault, because I think his job is to block runners. So from the very next corner, Mainu leaves Diaz again and blocks the runner of Van Dijk. So I don't know who's on set pieces for Manchester United, but it just seems all a bit of a mismatch there. Mismatch. Because like I say, Kobbie Mainoo's job is to block runners, and I don't think you want Mainoo blocking a runner of Van Dijk. He'll just absolutely squash him to the ground. So that seems like they've got that a bit wrong from corners so far, because Liverpool have had a lot of corners as well. Or seems anyway, yeah, they've had 8 corners, obviously scoring from one of them. But with the Old Trafford crowd behind them, there is a possibility United can turn this around. I mean, if it was at Anfield, I think we'd all just expect more goals for Liverpool. But it is at Old Trafford. They'll have that belief from the FA Cup that they can do it against Liverpool. They've just got to try and sort themselves out a little bit of a kick up the backside at half time. But that's another problem with Manchester United. You just don't see Ten Hag as a manager who can go into that changing room, give him a right good telling off, getting him to, demand more like you would on Football Manager, when you press demand more, just have a bit of a go. I just don't see that from him. I just don't see him as that character. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I've never heard a 10-hour team talk, but he just doesn't seem like a very inspiring character. And it then leads to the senior players to do that, to boost the players. And I just don't think they have the senior players, Manchester United, to lift a team, in all honesty. We know what Bruno Fernandes is like as a captain. I can't stand him. I'd hate him to be the captain of my team the way he acts on the pitch. Maguire maybe as a former captain. One of the more vocal players out there to me, from what I see, is Diogo Dalot at left back. He's took on a lot of responsibility this season. The 25-year-old. He has been one of Manchester United's most consistent performers in quite a disappointing season. But if you are here, make sure you do stick around now, because the second half will be getting underway very shortly. But also the upcoming commentaries next week. As you can see, the next two rolling across screen. Ipswich Watford on Wednesday at 7:45 as the Championship title race and automatic promotions places really start to heat up. So that should be a really exciting game. So make sure you check out that one. Then on Thursday, we are covering the Europa League as West Ham travel to the most informed team on the planet as they travel to Bayer Leverkusen. And then the weekend games we are covering, we are watching Manchester United once again on the... When do they play? I do apologise, let me check. We are covering Bournemouth against Manchester United. It says here they're playing on a Monday, which I don't believe. I've got my dates wrong there. Let's have a look. So yeah, we're covering Bournemouth, Manchester United next weekend, which takes place on the... Oh, my calendar's wrong, that's why. Okay. So yeah, we are covering Bournemouth, Manchester United on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. And the day after, on the Sunday, we are also covering Manchester United again. But we are covering the FA Cup semi-final for the women's team as Manchester United women take on Chelsea women in the FA Cup semi-final. That should be a cracking game. So make sure you check the stream out for that one. So the next four coming up, we've got Ipswich Watford on Wednesday, Leverkusen West Ham on Thursday, Bournemouth Manchester United on the Saturday, and Manchester United women against Chelsea women on the Sunday. So they're the next four commentaries that are coming up on the channel next week. So you make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when they happen. But at the moment we are still focusing on another 45 minutes or so at Old Trafford, where Manchester United need to do something to get some shots on at goal as the minimum. Still not had a shot in the first half of a game, which is pretty poor. And against the Liverpool side, who are at the moment in such a good run of form, it'll be difficult to see where Manchester United could pick up anything from this game. Jurgen Klopp did celebrate his 300th victory as a Liverpool manager on Thursday night against Sheffield United. 300 wins from his previous 479 games. That's absolutely ridiculous. From Jurgen Klopp, who of course says goodbye to Liverpool at the end of the season. Interesting, like I say, it would be interesting to see if Manchester United make any changes, but what changes do you make to try and change the game? I don't think they have any game changes on there, so they might have to just try and put up with what they've got out there already. But for Manchester United, they've got, on paper, they've got like a quite, I say nice run. Bournemouth away is difficult. Bournemouth are doing really well so far this season under Irola, the Spaniard. But then they've got Coventry in the FA Cup coming up in the semi-final. That's their last chance for silverware. And, Manchester United would expect themselves to get to the final again with Coventry as their opponent. But You just don't know in the FA Cup, and even if Manchester United were to go through, they've then got to face either Manchester City or Chelsea, which wouldn't be a very easy final, because Chelsea did perform well in their League Cup final, just completely derailed in extra time. But the 90 minutes they played decently against Liverpool, and then of course we know exactly what Manchester City are about, especially in finals. But it would be a chance for revenge possibly for Manchester United, as they were beaten by their near rivals in that FA Cup final last season, conceding in, I think it was 13 seconds or so. As the second half is coming up now in a couple of minutes' time. As it is Manchester United 0, Liverpool 1. Liverpool have won 7 times here in the Premier League at Old Trafford. 2, though, in the last 8, both in 2021, in May and October. So they've not had many great visits here. Of course, losing that quarter-final of the FA Cup as well 3 weeks ago. So it seems like both teams really struggle going to the other team's ground, because obviously Manchester United haven't won at Anfield since January 2016. So it does seem like usually the favourites are the home team in terms of winning, in terms of a history record. If we look back at statistics, but at the moment it's definitely Liverpool who look like they're going to be running away with the 3 points, and Manchester United have got to be careful they don't let this game run away, because they are quite fortunate to still be in it at 1-0 in all honesty. As Manchester United are back out for the second half here, they will be attacking the Stretford end, which could help them maybe get some shots on off at goal. There's Liverpool also return out for the second 45 minutes here. Don't believe there's any changes that are going to be made from any of the two sides. Of course, we wouldn't expect any changes from Liverpool, but maybe we could have expected some from Manchester United. But I think Ten Hag's going to stick with what he's got out there already. As, like I say, United attacking the Stretford end in the second half. It'll be Liverpool to kick off, kicking left to right. Manchester United right to left here. It'll be Szoboszlai to get us underway once we hear the referee's whistle of Anthony Taylor. As eventually, here we go, Ten Hag re-emerging from the tunnel, trying to get the Stretford end going, applauding them. I'm just sorry. I mean, it's just me. Ten Hag lacks so much charisma. I mean, some people just don't have it. As Liverpool go for an early strike there, well wide of the post. Don't know who even that was with the early strike. But he was just trying to get the Stretford end going there with, clapping them on. It just doesn't really, it wouldn't motivate me. I mean, I don't know. Who am I to say he's a motivational guy or not? But he just, from an outsider looking in, he just looks like he really lacks that real charisma as a person. As Salah's nearly played him behind here. Maguire needs to clear in the box. He can ahead of Nunez. Only as far as Endo, who heads it back forward here. But headed away by Wan-Bissaka. Up towards Højlund as McAllister heads backwards. And it's dealt with by Van Dijk as he goes to Kelleher. Who clips it out to the left back here of Robertson, who can head it inside to McAllister. He turns forward himself. He gets in front of Bruno Fernandes. And McAllister's got Nunez in front of him. He'll go on his own instead of McAllister. From 25 yards, he tries to play it. He will play it out to the right to Bradley, as Casemiro did slide in. It's now with Salah into the box here for Szoboszlai. Plays it through for Bradley, who can keep the ball in, but he's gone out of play himself, and the ball did as well. So it'll be a goal kick for Manchester United. He almost kept that in there. Bradley. Szoboszlai played the ball through towards him on that byline. And it's United back in possession on the edge of the 18-yard box on the left side with Harry Maguire. who'll bring it forward. He'll go long down the left-hand side here, looking for Rashford. Headed down and out of play there by Quansah. So Manchester United can push up the field here. As Liverpool can be pushed back. Wan-Bissaka with the throw-in, who remains at left-back. Dalot at right-back as he throws it to Mainu. Flicks it over the head of Endo. Brilliant skill from Mainu, who runs in towards the edge of the box. Still with Mainu. Plays it towards Fernandes. Just goes behind him. Collected by Diaz. Forward to Nunez. And the counter could be on here as Robertson's darting forward. Nunez needs to release it. Nunez still has it. He eventually plays it to Robertson. What a pass that is. Robertson in the box on the left-hand side. Through it goes. Volleyed by Maguire. Nunez with the shot. Big block from Maguire. And United again survive a scare that could have resulted in a goal there for Liverpool as Rashford receives it on the left-hand side. Bursts beyond Bradley. Rashford still has it. Quansah coming across towards the byline. Rashford chops in, but then just poked away from him by Quansah. Rashford didn't release it in time. And both teams surviving. But Liverpool with the biggest chance of them all. Salah now, right through the middle. Beyond Mainu, still with Salah, slips it through towards Nunez. Huge slide challenge interception there from Camboala. That is brilliant. As Mainu kicks it off the referee. And that'll be a stoppage in play here. Another quick start to this half. We had a quick start in the first half, and we have again in the second. Manchester United almost getting away with Rashford on the left-hand side. It's on this near side with Rashford. Goes to the halfway line to Maguire. Forward to Casemiro. It's now in the centre circle with Camboala. Maguire again. Not got loads of options with him, so he goes across to the right back of Dalot. It's now a Camboala. Is Liverpool just forcing Manchester United further back here? Maguire wants to go forward. He dinks it forward. Looking for Garnacho. Easy interception from Endo. McAllister then controls it away from Fernandes. Slips it through for Diaz. Liverpool are on the counter-attack. Running at Camboala. Diaz on the edge of the area. Slips it through towards Salah. Nowhere near the Egyptian. Cleared by Wan-Bissaka. Only as far as Conor Bradley. So Liverpool can continue their attack here. Just don't understand that pass from Maguire. I mean, I know he didn't have a lot of options on, but just keep the ball instead. Just forcing it towards Garnacho. And it's now Liverpool back in possession as a result. It's on the far side with Robertson. Goes back here into Van Dijk. Across to Quansah, who enters the Manchester United half, turns backwards as he's been pressed by Højlund, and he tries to go across to Van Dijk, gives it to Fernandes, who goes for the early shot, and what a goal that is from Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United equalised through an absolute gift, and it's their first shot of the game. From afar, Bruno Fernandes saw that Kelleher was off his goal line. He went for it almost immediately. There was no thought in it from Fernandes. He knew what he wanted to do. He dispatched it just brilliantly into the back of the net, into the bottom right corner. It almost flicked off the post, but just inside it went. What a huge error from the 21-year-old centre-back for Liverpool. Tried to go across to his centre-back partner, Van Dijk, sold him short. It fell to Fernandes just inside the centre circle in the Liverpool half. He takes on the strike. That is so impressive. He's hit it first time. That is what Bruno Fernandes can do. Kelleher was scrambling. He did try and get there with a huge dive, but his left hand just couldn't quite reach the ball. You just feel like it's a moment that Manchester United needed to get the crowd into the game, to get the players into the game as well. And that is how you score your 50th Premier League goal. Bruno Fernandes has hit half a century in this division, and that is one of his best. What a goal. Manchester United are level through an absolute gift from Jarell Quansah. And Bruno Fernandes did not hold back. He did not feel sorry for the error from the youngster. He punished it. And now Manchester United are well back in this game. 1-1. What a finish that is from Bruno Fernandes. That should surely lift this Manchester United crowd and players. It has to, surely. Nunez on the right wing. Turning away from Camboala. Nunez still has it, but Campoala gets the strength on him, and then he's pulled back from the Uruguayan. And that's really good there from Campoala. He's just told to relax there by Maguire. Just getting a bit too excited there, Willy Campoala. Their first shot of the game in the 50th minute, and they've scored it. That is brilliant. It's just stuff you love to see. Because Liverpool fans must be absolutely screaming at the TV. How on earth they're level in this game. Big mistake from the youngster, but sometimes that's what happens when you play inexperienced players. They can bring errors like that. And it's a big one this time as Campoala backheels it into Dalot. What a backheel that is. Then Dalot's ball centrally finds Mainu beyond the slide challenge of Endo. Mainu bringing it forward in the Liverpool half. He's got Rashford to the left. Finds Marcus Rashford in on the edge of the box onto his right foot. Being forced away from goal. He has to play it backwards here to Casemiro. Then Garnacho will let fly as it deflects over the crossbar. And Manchester United are well within this game now. Garnacho this time hitting the shot as he received the ball from Casemiro. It was on his weaker left foot. I think it deflects off the backside there of Van Dijk and over the bar. But Liverpool for sure need to be careful here. And it's going to be a delivery in from Bruno Fernandes. Maguire's up there. We've seen him score plenty of headers in his time as the ball goes into Maguire. Heads it across the goal and it'll fall out to Rashford here on the near side. One-on-one with Bradley on his right foot. Ball goes in and all the way through. Saved by Kelleher and cleared by Van Dijk. He saw it late, the Irish goalkeeper, as that was heading in. Brilliant ball from Rashford. It's such a teasing one towards Casemiro who just missed it. And then it was pushed forward by Kelleher and cleared by Van Dijk. How the tables can turn in a football match like this. That's why we love it. And at the minute, Jurgen Klopp is hating it. As from the corner, it goes to Dalot on the edge, across to Garnacho. Plays out to the right to Casemiro. It's gone short. Picked up from Szoboszlai. And there's men over here for Liverpool on the right-hand side. Diaz and Salah he has. It's to Salah. Once more on for Diaz. Across towards Nunez. Shoots towards goal and wide it goes. Kicked out of play eventually by Dalot. But as we're experiencing Manchester United domination at one end, Liverpool quickly counter and go up to the other and almost get themselves back ahead. Like I said, they had two men over there. Dalot left 2-on-1. You feel like Diaz should have shot. Instead, he went across to Nunez, who I think tried to square it again himself. I don't know if that was a shot from Nunez. If it was, it's a heel shot again. It's come off like near the back of his foot and well wide. And Dalot didn't take any risk. He just tapped it out of play. As Robertson in swing, a good ball in, but it's met by Fernandes at the near post. Headed into the air by Salah. Headed forward then by Bradley, back into the 18-yard box where it's headed down by Casemiro. Chested by Mainu. He gets away from Endo, but then slide tackle well by McAllister. He plays it to his left, it's to Szoboszlai. 25 yards out. He wants to let fly, instead goes for the pass. But it's intercepted again by Campoala. He's done that plenty of times in this game on his home debut for Manchester United. Still with Liverpool though, as Szoboszlai kicks it off the back of Taylor. And again, we'll get a stoppage in play as it comes off the referee. Not much he could have done about that one. The 45-year-old. As it's Bradley on this near side as we're back underway in the final third. Goes back to Quansah, who needs to have the mindset to forget that error. As Bradley finds Szoboszlai and then returns it to Bradley in the box. Pulls it across and it comes off Wan-Bissaka and out for a corner. Manchester United just can't allow Liverpool to creep back in the game again and let them dominate. But since the goal, Liverpool have responded pretty well. Could have easily had a goal on the counter-attack a minute ago through that Nunez strike at the far post. Szoboszlai puts an out-swinging cross in. It's a strong header won by Casemiro this time. McAllister lays it off back to the right-hand side here to Szoboszlai. Back into McAllister again. He plays it to the edge of the centre circle to Robertson. Then to the far side now to Bradley. Who can go inside to Endo. Takes it under control. Endo through to Diaz. Turns out to the left to Nunez. In the box. Diaz overlaps. Nunez goes on his right foot and shoots himself. But it's blocked by Campoala again. Header from Fernandes, straight back to Nunez, who's dispossessed by Mainu, but can't quite keep it. Tackled by Bradley. Heavy touch drops here to Dalot. Out wide to Garnacho. Fernandes forward to Højlund. It just gets away from him in the centre circle. And Liverpool can bring it away again. With Salah on the right wing. Through for Szoboszlai in the box. It's forced away by Maguire. But plays it inside to Bradley. What a pass and what a run that is. Bradley squares it. Salah tackled by Mainu, but he still has it. Lays it off. McAllister shoots. Another block, this time from Fernandes. A header away from Rashford. Met by Quansah. And that will be, I presume, a throw-in for Manchester United. Much more even game in this second half. Jurgen Klopp moaning something to the fourth official of Craig Pawson, who I don't think looks very interested. As we're going to get a stoppage in play here. Not overly sure why. As Wan-Bissaka is rocking the short sleeve shirt and the gloves. In a very windy and wet Manchester early April evening. As eventually back underway. Wan-Bissaka gets the return ball from the throw-in and then switches out to the right to Dalot, who's now at right back, and he takes a brilliant touch and he gets away from Diaz and turns away from McAllister. Beyond the halfway line, he goes to the left now to Fernandes. Wan-Bissaka getting forward. He goes instead to Rashford, who will cross with the right foot. It's another teasing ball in, and Kelleher can hold. Again, saw it late, but held it really well and rolls out to Diaz, who can get beyond Casemiro. The game's really opening up here as he then finds Szoboszlai in the centre circle. He's got Bradley to the right, Salah in front. He goes out to Bradley, who's forward from right back. In the box, Bradley goes towards Salah, but it's cut out well by Maguire, who is caught out in possession. Didn't get a shout. Bradley was behind him, and he's won it back for Liverpool. Szoboszlai crosses. Nunez on the far post. Takes the touch. Squares it through. Comes off Diaz. Tackled away from Mainu, who's caught by McAllister. And it's a free kick on the edge of the box for Manchester United. A little bit messy there, as Maguire was caught out. Really poor that from the 31-year-old. I mean, you can blame Maguire because he should have got rid quicker, but surely he must have heard a shout within Old Trafford, if it's not from the players, from the crowd, that the Conor Bradley was chasing him behind. As we're getting a quick pause in play here, as Mainu stays down after that late challenge from McAllister. And now Nana goes long, in behind for Rashford down the left-hand side. Quansah will get there. Quansah needs to deal with this. He doesn't have to deal with it in the end, as Rashford was offside as the ball was played from Onana. So we'll get a Liverpool free kick here, as we've got half an hour to play of the 90. Liverpool joint top with Arsenal, but Arsenal lead the league title race on goal difference. As it's a Liverpool throwing on this near side, conceded by Casemiro, a tackle on Bradley. It's now Bradley waiting for his options midway inside the Manchester United half. Bradley just went too far forward there, so he'll get the retake of the throw-in. So it'll be Bradley again to take it. Liverpool's number 84. Turns 21 in July. Still so young, Conor Bradley, as he gives the ball away there down the line. Picked up by Wan-Bissaka. It's now with Rashford into Wan-Bissaka again. Then to Casemiro, who's found himself the furthest wide for United, but he gives it away looking for Mainu. It's now with Salah. Through for Nunez on the right side of the box, but he's tackled there by Cambuala. But it falls back to Nunez, who can't slip the ball through to Salah into the hands of Andre Onana. And it's Manchester United possession as they settle down on the ball with Maguire. Goes to the now left back of Wan-Bissaka. Switched over with Dalot at half-time. Maguire to the right centre half here, Cambuala. Goes to Dalot, who's took up a midfield position. Then Mainu's gone out wide. And he can drive away from McAllister here, Mainu. He needs to release it. He's just tumbled down, but he can just about kick it away to Dalot. well kept there by Mainu. United are actually enjoying a little bit of possession on the ball here. It's now with Casemiro just before the halfway line. Into the centre circle, slips it through towards Mainu, but again Casemiro gives it away. It's twice he's done that in quick succession. Salah breaks. Into Szoboszlai. Can't quite return it to Salah. Good tackle that from Casemiro. And Fernandes sends it over the top for Rashford. Brilliant ball here. He's up there with Garnacho, but Rashford can't get away from Quansah. Brilliant challenge. He had to time it right, and he did. But Manchester United take the throw in quickly. With Mainu midway inside the Liverpool half. Finds Casemiro. Now to the right wing to Garnacho. Running one-on-one at Robertson in the corner of the box. Tries to get it across to Højlund. It deflects up in the air and it's a header away from Van Dijk. But it's out-muscled there. He's out-muscled Diaz by Dalot. And Dalot goes over the top here in the box to Fernandes, who tries to volley. Doesn't quite connect with it. And I think the flag had stayed down. Went into the gloves of Kelleher, who quickly dispatches it to Szoboszlai. Beyond the halfway line, Nunez is making a running behind. So is Salah. Szoboszlai's going to go on his own here. On the edge of the box, he then lays it off for Nunez, who's been sent out wide. He clips it to the far post, where it's a flick on by Maguire. It's an important one as well. Slows down the attack. As Robertson has it on the edge, he will go for the shot. He'll slip as he shoots. Cannons off Casemiro. And out it goes for a throw-in, just next to the corner flag on the far side. Stays down here, Casemiro. I think that hit him where it hurts most. Fernandes was on side as well. Really good ball by Dalot, who's been solid today. On both sides, left and right back. And Fernandes did meet it, but just didn't really get good contact with it at all. So Casemiro's back up after getting a knock with the ball on his own. To try and put it as family friendly as possible. As it's a Liverpool throwing in the final third, throwing into Diaz, returns it to Robertson, gets away from Dalot, but can't get beyond Garnacho. He runs out of play right next to that corner flag again. That'll be another Liverpool throw-in. Looks like they're going to ready two changes up here, the away side, with Jones and Gomez being readied to come on. Robertson throws it to Endo, goes inside, can't find Diaz. Højlund gets it instead, and he's tripped as he tries to release it to Rashford. And Rashford's gone down here with 25 to play. And he started on the bench against Chelsea and came on. But it looks like he cannot play any further part in this game. It looks like they're going to have to ready up Anthony. And he'll be coming on for his 50th Premier League appearance, the Brazilian. Didn't start any of the previous 9 before starting the game on Thursday against Chelsea. Provided a beautiful assist in that game as well, Anthony. So he's definitely in a bit of form at the moment. Scored as well against Liverpool in the FA Cup. He scored twice this season, both in the FA Cup, to Newport and then to Liverpool. Not scored in the Premier League, Anthony, in almost a year. His last came on the 16th of April away at Forest. As we're going to get Liverpool changes now. Dominic Szoboszlai replaced by Curtis Jones. There's Curtis Jones to start to return back as well. He missed the last 9 with an ankle injury before returning off the bench against Sheffield United. And Conor Bradley, the young fullback, will be replaced by Joe Gomez. So like-for-like changes here for Liverpool as they've got 25 left to play. And Marcus Rashford, who's currently struggling with some kind of problem, is replaced by Anthony. So the Brazilian winger will go on the right-hand side. Garnacho will shift over to the left. As we could get a really interesting end to this game now with changes beginning to be made. As we're back underway. Midway side the Manchester United half here with Maguire. Goes into the midfield to Dalot. Then into the halfway line now to Fernandes. Facing his own goal as he's been pressed by Endo. Returns it to Maguire. Who finds Camboala. Maguire shifts it across to Fernandes. Forward to Wan-Bissaka. Into Maguire. Then to the left to Fernandes. Bit of football there from Manchester United as Fernandes slips. It goes down the line. Deflects off Garnacho, played forward by Endo, but given away back to Fernandes as Casemiro overhead kicks it through to Mainu. What a pass that is. Mainu now breaking away in the Liverpool half. Garnacho's free to the left. He finds Garnacho on the edge of the box, on his right foot, plays it through to Wan-Bissaka. Inside to Mainu, who turns and strikes it towards goal. That is magnificent from Mainu. That is what he can do. At just the age of 18, he is incredible. What a goal to give Manchester United the lead. Klopp can't believe it. His side are throwing away the Premier League title. Not for the first time. And that is how you do it as an 18-year-old in the Premier League. Breaking on the scene like he has and scoring in the biggest game of all. He received it on the halfway line through Casemiro. He saw Garnacho free on the left. He played it to him. He brought Wan-Bissaka into play as he overlapped from left back. He went inside to Mainu, who spun, and on the spin, he was able to get a right-footed shot away, curling it to the far corner. It's perfect. Into that side netting. No touch off the post. Perfectly rippling the back of the net. Possibly Kelleher was too far across to the opposite side of the goal. He was scrambling. He was never going to get near it. And as Manchester United attempt to derail Liverpool's title ambitions, at the moment, they're doing exactly that. 22 minutes to play here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 2, Liverpool 1. Kobbie Mainoo, take a bow. What a goal. That is something special. That really is. It's his first Old Trafford goal. His previous two have come away at Wolves in the Premier League, and his first was away at Newport in the FA Cup. So good. What a player he is. He's so good. And he just has it all. So Liverpool remain in second on goal difference as they are level on points with Manchester City. So if they concede again, Liverpool, then they'll be level on goal difference with Manchester City and on the same points. I think we've had another change here for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott's come on. Not quite sure who he's replaced at the moment. So Endo has come off. So Endo off for Elliott, and Nunez, who provided the assist for the Liverpool goal, has been replaced by Cody Gakpo, who came under a bit of criticism for his performance in the FA Cup quarter-final. Gakpo, when he came off the bench. And in a place where, overall, Liverpool struggled to win here. Just won twice in the last 8 meetings. And Manchester United have something to hold on to here. Casemiro clears it up to the halfway line. Nowhere near Fernandes. It'll roll out to Robertson, who's took up a central position here. He has got Diaz out wide to his left, and he'll find the Colombian, whose goal seems a long time ago now, as he skips away from Antony. He's been forced away from goal, though, as Antony won't give up the chase. Brilliant work from Antony. As Diaz tries to keep it, he's then bundled down to the ground by Højlund. It's actually gone the other way. Diaz sends Højlund to the ground, and it's a free kick for Manchester United. You just felt like there were so many opportunities there for Diaz to release it. And he never did. And eventually he was just caught around red shirts. But these 3 points for Manchester United puts them 6 behind Spurs. You know, if you think if they could have held on at Chelsea, another 3 points on top of that, they'd be 3 points behind them. But it's not how football goes. You've got to see through your 3 points. You can't just throw them away like they did on Thursday night. And Nana turns away from Gakpo. That was risky, but it worked. Camboala forward now to Dalot. He's picking up midfield positions really well, Dalot, and shifts it on to Casemiro. Out to the right to Antony on halfway. Back through for Casemiro. Spaces free on the left. Garnacho was away, but he couldn't quite do that pass, so instead he went just behind him to Wan-Bissaka. Then to Garnacho in the box, on his right foot, shooting towards goal. And it's a corner. Liverpool asking for the deflection as they thought it nicked off Wan-Bissaka after the touch from Gomez, but the referee's given a corner kick. And more space will start to arrive here for Manchester United as Liverpool will have to start going for this game a little bit more. But at the moment, it'll be 3 meetings between these two sides and Manchester United could end up unbeaten. They drew 0-0 at Anfield and they won 4-3 here in the FA Cup game. It's Fernandes, in-swinger. Good ball in. It's met. Not sure who it's met by. And it's come off a Manchester United player last. And it's a goal kick here for Liverpool. Van Dijk wanted to take quickly and he will take it, passing it across to Quansah. It's now with Van Dijk. To the left back of Robertson, midway side his own half here. To Jones, sorry. Robertson's just gone a bit further forward on that left-hand side. It's now with Quansah, who gifted Manchester United their first goal 5 minutes into the second half. Fernandes taking it on from the centre circle and finding the back of the net as McAllister slips it through towards Diaz, who's out-muscled by Camboire, who in a left-back position needs to clear it, and he will with his left foot up towards Garnacho, can't quite bring it under control, and it goes through to Quansah on halfway. And Liverpool can build up again from the back. Quansah still has it. Looking for the pass out wide. He finds Elliott, who goes inside. Brilliant pass to McAllister. Goes long towards Diaz, but it's cut short there off Casemiro, and it falls through for Højlund, who's one-on-one with Van Dijk. He's got options to his left of Fernandes. He needs to find him. He slips it through for Garnacho instead. He's shot straight at Kelleher. Disappointing there from Garnacho, who's coming into this game off the back of a double against Chelsea. Bit of a desperate pass that from McAllister, trying to get it into the box there. Bounced off Casemiro through to Højlund, who held it up well, waited for the runners, and it fell to Garnacho in the end, who took a left-footed shot on straight at Kelleher. So back with the action, Casemiro through to Dallo, who won't beat Kelleher to it. Quickly off his line there, Liverpool's number 62. And it's Liverpool back in possession in their own half with their left-back, Andy Robertson, who'd only won 6 times previously against United in 18 appearances. Played 76 minutes in the FA Cup quarter-final from the start. As Camboire went in, studs was showing, but I feel like he got a big chunk of the ball as well. He's taking some tactical instructions here off Steve McLaren, as Jurgen Klopp is absolutely fuming. Camboire on his home debut for Manchester United, that's home start, first ever home start for Manchester United, goes in the book. He wins the ball well, but the studs are just showing. It's not out of control. He won the ball, but like I say, the stud's just a little bit too high there. And Willy Camboire will go in the book. He was actually linked with Liverpool, Willy Camboire, before joining Manchester United back in 2020. But he joined at the age of 16 to Manchester United for £3.5 million. So they obviously saw something in him. From a very young age, Manchester United. As Liverpool have worked it to the far side now to Robertson, who did provide an assist for Gakpo against Sheffield United on Thursday. Could that be another link-up once again here? As Gakpo drops deep for the ball. And finds Robertson. Back with Gakpo again. Into Curtis Jones. Gakpo makes a run forward. Jones goes on his own instead. Plays it through for Elliott in the box, who can work space. Gakpo takes over, tries to return it to Elliott, but he overhits the pass. And with 15 minutes to play, Manchester United have a 2-1 lead here. Turning the game around in the second half. They didn't have a shot in the first half, Manchester United. But with their first of the game in the 50th minute, a gift from Quansah, and Fernandes took it. Shooting from the centre circle as Kelleher was off his line. Onana goes long out to the United left, headed forward there by Quansah. Played forward and in behind by Wan-Bissaka, and Garnacho should beat Van Dijk to it, but he kicks it off the Dutchman. It won't go for a corner though. Flicked over Garnacho's head by Van Dijk, and then Gomez 1-2 with McAllister down the right-hand side. It's now with Elliott, who gets away from Fernandes and switches it across to the left-hand side now for Liverpool with Andy Robertson. Robertson brings it forward, goes beyond the halfway line. Robertson still has it. Anthony's having to chase him from behind. He gets it to Diaz eventually. And then Robertson plays it. Then Diaz plays it through to Robertson, who continued his run. Ball deflects back to Diaz, who gets it to the far post. Good header away from Wan-Bissaka. All as far as Gomez, who shoots it, deflects off Maguire and into the hands of Onana. Gomez still searching for that first Liverpool goal. I don't think that would have been his if it went in. I think his shot was going off target and Maguire almost sent it in the back of the net. But Onana puts it to the floor and plays it forward here to Casemiro. He goes back to Onana, who will clear it first time. Again out to the United left on the halfway line. Højlund goes for it. Quansah wins it. And Højlund fouls Quansah as he won the header. So free kick for Liverpool. As they are running out of time here. McAllister through the legs of Fernandes, through to Gomez, who's getting forward from right back into the final third. Low ball to the edge of the box to Salah, lays it off into Elliott, who loses out to Casemiro, but he falls back to Gomez. It's now Salah again. McAllister, central area for Jones. He goes to his left to Robertson. It's now with Diaz in the corner of the box on the left-hand side. 1-on-1 with Dalot, trying to get it through if possible. He has to go back though to Jones instead. Resolute defending from Manchester United as Diaz still has it. On his right foot, he goes backwards here to Van Dijk and across to Quansah. It's now to this near touch line with Elliott, who will put a left-footed cross, and it's a good ball. It's header away from Cambuala, helped on by Fernandes, headed forward and out to the right by Quansah to Elliott, who then goes backwards to the halfway line to restart with Van Dijk. Well kept there by Liverpool, and it's now with Curtis Jones, who can turn away from the press of Fernandes. This was the scoreline between the two when they last met in the Premier League here at Old Trafford back in August 2022. Sancho scoring in that one. It was United who went 2-0 up through Sancho and Rashford. Salah's late goal wasn't enough for them to get any points in that game. As it's now Gomez in a right wing position. He's been followed by Garnacho. Gomez chops onto his left foot, lays it off into Elliott, who will cross the ball in towards Diaz, heads it on. Dealt with by Casemiro, not very convincing though. Drops to Gomez. Diaz with the shot, parried by Onana. Salah on the rebound and over the bar. From inside the 6-yard box on his weaker right foot. Salah couldn't work it on target. Diaz with the original shot. He had it parried away by Onana. Again, question marks of the goalkeeper. Can he do better with that? Parried it straight into Salah, who in fairness came onto it from a tight angle, but couldn't keep it down anyway. And United have a little bit of a let off. As United are going to make a change here with just over 10 minutes to play. Alejandro Garnacho, replaced by Sofian Amrabat, whose last start for United in the league was in the reverse fixture at Anfield. It's just his 15th Premier League appearance of the season, out of a possible 31 for Manchester United. As Onana takes the goal kick, as he's already yellow carded Onana for time wasting. As Maguire heads forward, beyond the halfway line and out for a throw in here for Liverpool on this near side. McAllister turns away from Wan-Bissaka, touches it into Salah on the right wing. McAllister's inside, finds him, lays it off behind him to Gomez, then a cross behind Gakpo. Anthony now has it to Casemiro, gives it away towards Højlund. Well collected by Quansah, who brings it forward, shifts it to his left to Gakpo. On once more to Diaz, who's been sent towards the byline. The Colombian will keep it in. He'll go backwards to Robertson. He's got Jones on the edge of the box, finds him. Back out wide now to Diaz. 1-on-1 with Anthony. Jones overlaps, but Anthony tackles him. Pokes it out for a throw in here for Liverpool. It's now Gomez as they come towards this near side. Elliott back to the halfway line now with Quansah, who has been at fault for that first goal, giving it away to Bruno Fernandes. It's definitely a learning curve for the 21-year-old. Liverpool still have a chance to pick up points in this game. They're only behind by 1 and they're dominating the possession at the moment. As it's Liverpool who are in possession on the halfway line here. Elliott dropping into deeper positions to try and link up the play. And he brings it forward down the right-hand side. Gomez is joining him and he'll find him. Gomez crosses. It comes off Casemiro, still alive in the box. Elliott heads it across to Salah. Tries to return it. but he can't get it through Casemiro's clearance again. Can't find a red shirt. Picked up by Quansah, who gets beyond Fernandez, then chops it inside to Elliott. 1-2 with Salah. Elliott down over the challenge from Wan-Bissaka, and the penalty's been given. Why on earth Wan-Bissaka is diving in like that, I am not too sure. But Liverpool won't complain. Just turned it up ever so slightly there, Liverpool, with their passing play. And it's an absolute stonewall penalty. Wan-Bissaka went in for it. Elliott took the touch away from him. And Wan-Bissaka got the man instead of the ball. And that'll be a penalty kick for Liverpool. In fairness, from that replay, it did look like Harvey Elliott was already going down. But at the end of the day, he did catch a lot of Harvey Elliott and not a lot of the ball. So late on, this could be absolutely huge for Liverpool in their title race ambition. It will be Mohamed Salah to take it. He is the all-time leading scorer in this fixture. He scored 13 in his previous 14 against Manchester United. He scored 10 in his 12 in the Premier League. He's scored 9 against them in the last 6. And this is one of the biggest penalties he will ever take in a Liverpool shirt. To get them level here at Old Trafford. Some in that away stand simply cannot take the pressure. Salah can miss them, but he can also certainly score them. And Liverpool need him to put this in the back of the net. It's Onana against Salah from 12 yards. Liverpool's number 11. They're Mr. Reliable. Mohamed Salah slots it into the bottom left corner. He races to get the ball. Liverpool want a winner. And we're all square here at Old Trafford. It's 2-2. I don't think Salah ever doubted himself there. As it wasn't the greatest of penalties. It wasn't directly into the bottom left corner. But Onana went the opposite way. So it was enough. But if Onana guesses right, he probably saves that. But Onana dived to his left. Salah went to his right. Not very in the corner. But doesn't really matter when the goalkeeper goes the opposite direction. And Liverpool have their point back. Still not enough to put them top of the league. Arsenal stay top on goal difference. But Liverpool fancy a winner here. As Anthony gives it away on the right wing position. Robertson now bringing it forward. Salah as well now has the most ever goals scored by a player against Manchester United. Alan Shearer was on 10. And Salah is now on 11 against them in the Premier League. As we've had a Manchester United change, Kobbie Mainoo, who was the match winner. He's been replaced by Mason Mount, who's off the bench again for Manchester United as he's been returning from a calf injury that kept him out from November to March. As Robertson's been played down the left-hand side in the final third, loads of time for him, but the cross is blocked off by Camboire, volleyed not very well by Anthony. It's now Diaz to Jones on the left, being swarmed by Manchester United shirts, but they can work it back there to McAllister, and then Quansah back to Kelleher. We've got 5 minutes of the 90 to go. Just 1 point separating all three teams at the top. Liverpool find themselves in second on goal difference. Manchester City are the team who are a point behind them both on 70. Arsenal and Liverpool are currently both on 71. What an exciting end to the game we could have here. We've had a fantastic Sunday on the channel. Covered the Old Firm derby earlier on today. That ended 3-3 in very dramatic circumstances. And this one's 2-2 at the moment. Liverpool on the ball. On the far side here of Robertson. Wants to go in behind for Diaz and he tries it. And it'll work. Diaz will get there. The byline will see both him and Dalot slide onto the off-the-pitch area at Old Trafford. Diaz got there and crossed it off Dalot. I'm not sure if the ball had already gone. If it hadn't, it's a corner. If it has, it's a goal kick. But both players sliding off the pitch and onto the what seems like the brick ground they've got just off the pitch at Old Trafford. Both of them have definitely felt the impact of that landing. But they're both on their feet. And I think this will be a goal kick for Manchester United. Couldn't quite keep it in play there, Diaz, but the idea was right. Onana will allow Maguire to take it. As Maguire takes it to Onana. Onana looks forward, plays it forward to Dalot, who's right in the middle of the pitch here for United. Again, taking up those midfield spots from full-back as Maguire overruns it. And he kicks it out of play. Throwing for Liverpool. Elliott wanted to take quickly, but instead allows Gomez to take instead. Gomez throws it long down the line here for Diaz, who's come from the left wing to the right. He's got Maguire holding him. Diaz still has it. Maguire trying to use his strength to get it away from him. And in the end, it's out for a throw-in. As that is funny from Maguire. Can't repeat what he said to Diaz, but that's very funny. A little bit of afters between the two. He ended up in a Liverpool throw-in, thrown back by Gomez to Elliott, then back to the halfway line to Quansah. Across to Van Dijk. He wants to go forward, but he has to go across instead here to McAllister, who can shift it forward here to Elliott. Gomez tries to hold his run. He goes to Salah instead to the left, who then loses out to Amrabat, who then gives it away looking for Casemiro. It's now back with Liverpool in a central area here with Salah, about 30 yards from goal. Turning into Casemiro and Amrabat, and United win the ball back. Højlund holds it up. Antony's in behind. Højlund needs to release it. Amrabat takes over, then brought down by Jones. And that'll be a yellow card for Curtis Jones. That's a good foul if you're a Liverpool fan. Sometimes fouls need to be made to stop counter-attacks. And that was just that done by Curtis Jones. He allowed Højlund to get around him, but he wasn't letting Amrabat through. And it's a free kick for Manchester United in the centre circle here. 90 seconds to play. We had late drama between these two in the FA Cup game. We've had late drama here with that Salah penalty with 8 minutes to go. As Gomez heads away the free kick on the edge of the box. Headed back forward by Amrabat out to the left wing where Maguire heads it inside, but no one in red's there. Volleyed into the sky there by Quansah. Controlled by Mount straight to Gakpo, who can keep it away from Mount and Amrabat and plays it through for Elliott. And what a pass that is. Salah's in behind, turns away from Dalot, but Fernandes is there to take the ball off him. Plays it back to Onana, who clears it long all the way through to Quansah. And Liverpool can come again, but that could have been dangerous there. Brilliant pass from Elliott. And Salah couldn't quite take it on his own. Less than a minute of the 90 to play here. In the previous 63 meetings between these two, we have had 15 draws. So they don't happen too often. But it's on the far side, just beyond the halfway line now with Robertson. Goes to Diaz on the inside, keeps it away from Amrabat. Diaz will switch it to the right flank here. That's a brilliant pass. Elliott controls it. He wants to get onto his left foot. Instead plays it through for Gomez. He tries to get it across. It deflects to Gakpo. Can't find Salah. Cleared by Casemiro. Shocking clearance to the left side of the box here to Robertson, who will cross the ball in towards Gomez, and it's volleyed behind for a corner by Fernandes. It was aiming towards Gomez. I'm a New York fan and a Liverpool fan. Brilliant from New York. 7 minutes have added on time here for Manchester United to hold on. I feel like Manchester United will take the point against a team like Liverpool. They've only drawn once here in the league, Manchester United. It was 2-2 as well. That was to Spurs midway inside of January. But for Liverpool, you feel like a point just isn't quite good enough at this point of the season. Robertson, in-swinger to the far post. Salah's left alone. But Taylor blows his whistle because there was a foul in the box on Maguire. And it's a free kick for Manchester United as frustration builds for Liverpool. Onana kicks it long for United, headed away by Quansah on Højlund. Elliott in behind for Gakpo, headed forward by Maguire, flicked away by Casemiro, kept in play by Elliott, down the line to Salah, slid away there by Maguire, header away by Van Dijk, it can't be kept in. Manchester United throwing inside their own half here. As Maguire stayed down here. Looks like he's got a problem with his hand maybe, or his wrist. But it looks like he'll be okay to continue. Wan-Bissaka throws down the line here to Fernandes. Gets the return here for a header. Wan-Bissaka kicks off Gakpo. And it'll be another throw in for Manchester United on this near side. Just over 5 minutes left to play. Wan-Bissaka taking his time. Not got many options on here for him, Wan-Bissaka. Throws it towards Højlund, who keeps it away from Jones. Fernandes takes over, flicks it through for Højlund on the left wing. Can't get around Gomez, good defending it right back. Can't lift it through though for Gakpo. It does deflect to him in the end off Wan-Bissaka. And Gakpo will charge forward here. They need to take him down, and he's done just that. That is the absolute definition of a tactical foul by Mason Mount, and I'm all for it. Was definitely not letting Gakpo go any further, because he was on it and he was going, Cody Gakpo. There's Liverpool from the free kick have worked it down the right-hand side here to Elliott. His ball across is blocked by Mount, cleared by Wan-Bissaka. Kept alive here from Liverpool from McAllister. Across he goes to Van Dijk, who will bring it forward away from the centre circle. Firing it out to the left-hand side to Robertson. Back inside to Van Dijk. It's now Robertson again. Finding Jones. It's now with Quansah. Everyone behind the ball for Manchester United. Now on the near side for Elliott. Will he go for an early cross? He will. He'll go to the far post here, where Robertson heads it back across. It's Salah to meet it. It's Diaz who met it. And over the crossbar it goes from 6 yards. Diaz has already scored once today. As there's a bit of a... I think there's a bit of a disagreement between Anthony and one of his own players. We'll have to see exactly why. Anthony's kicking off at someone. The header went across from Robertson. Dalot let it go over his head. Camboala didn't meet it. And Diaz has just fired that over the crossbar. Anthony's gone down too easily there to allow Robertson to head it across. And Diaz almost finished it, just got under it. So I'm not sure who's had a go at Anthony, but he's gone down too easily when defending that cross. And Anthony's been booked, so he might have been having a go at the referee, actually. So, I don't know if it was his own teammate. I think it was the referee for not giving him the foul, but it wasn't a foul. He went down too easily. Quansah sees a switch out to Robertson on the left, nowhere near him in the end. Dalot controls of his chest on the edge of the box, then goes forward to Mount, shifts it to the right-hand side here to Anthony, and we could have a late chance here for United. Højlund making the run to the right. Anthony wants to go on his own, lays it off for Fernandes. Through towards Anthony, but it's cut out by Gomez. United haven't had a lot of chances in the latter stages of this second half, but that was one. But it's Liverpool to now bring it forward with Robertson at left-back. We're about to hit the 95th minute here at Old Trafford. It's 2-2. The aggregate scoreline in the Premier League in the last 6 between these two have been Liverpool 24 and Manchester United have only scored 4. So they have definitely stopped the domination of Liverpool in this fixture in the Premier League and in all competitions. So Maguire heads away from a long ball from Kelleher, nodded down by McAllister on halfway to Jones. He's got Amrabat in his back and he's pushed over by the Moroccan, and it'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Take it quickly with Van Dijk, sending it to the right back of Gomez. Ball forward for Diaz. It just goes in front of him, just too heavy there from Gomez. It would have been the perfect pass if it reached him. It's Diaz again, just drifting into a more central area from the left wing position. As Anana clears it out to the United left. It's a free chest down by Gomez to Quansah, who will clear it down the Liverpool right-hand side. Maguire will deal with it, heading it out of play for a Liverpool throw-in just inside their own half on the near side. Just over a minute to play. Could Liverpool be dropping points in this Premier League title race? Elliott tackled really well there by Maguire. And it's now Amrabat. As Salah went down too easily. Højlund, he's got options left and right. Slips it through for Anthony, who's in the box here. Anthony strikes it towards goal, but it's straight at Kelleher. What a big opportunity that was. He's got to at least work the goalkeeper better than that. It's straight at him. And United win it again. Jones caught in possession by Anthony this time. 1-2 with Amrabat. The Moroccan on the right-hand side has to go back towards Anthony, but it's a short pass. Dealt with by Gakpo. Kept in by Diaz. He goes around Dalot. Diaz away on the left. He's got Salah in support. Diaz has it. Slowed down by Dalot. Diaz wants to cross it, but Casemiro goes in and takes him down. And that'll be a yellow card for Casemiro. And he understands and he gets it. And I don't think he minds, because Diaz was about to find a pass there towards Salah. Casemiro's gone flying in. Got a bit of the ball, but very much got the man. And it's a yellow card given out by Anthony Taylor. Giving out a lot more yellow cards today than he did in the Manchester City Arsenal game last week. I think he's given 7 out altogether today. 7, so a bit of a change for Anthony Taylor. We've played the 7 minutes, so this is probably the end. This free kick. About 25 yards out to the left-hand side. Robertson crosses it in. It's a good cross. Drops to Elliott in the box, and it's well held by Onana as it was struck right at him. And after 97 minutes, almost 100 minutes of football here at Old Trafford, it ends all level. We don't have extra time in this one to find a winner. They'll have to settle with the draw and a point each. It's a better point for Manchester United than it is for Liverpool, especially after the first half, where Liverpool were 1-0 up through Diaz, a well-worked corner. And in the first half, Manchester United weren't even able to work a shot. Their first shot was in the second half. It was 5 minutes in, and it resulted in a goal. Quanta giving it away. And right on the edge of the centre circle, Fernandes took it on first time. Seeing Kelleher out of his goal, he chipped the Irish goalkeeper into the back of the net. It went, and it really spurred on this Manchester United team and crowd to try and build on what they were given in terms of the goal through Jarrell Quansah. And with a quarter of the game to go, Manchester United took a lead through Kobbie Mainoo. It's his first ever Old Trafford goal, and it was an absolute beauty. Spinning in the box and shooting and finding the far corner. It was perfectly placed. No chance for Kelleher, but Manchester United couldn't see the lead out as Wan-Bissaka went in late on Elliott in the box. Bit of an unnecessary tackle, but it was a challenge that saw none of the ball won and all of the man. And Salah, as usual, scores against Manchester United again. Dispatched it from 12 yards. Sent Onana the wrong way. Liverpool pushed at the end to try and get a winner, but it wasn't enough. They have to just settle for a point. And now in terms of the top 3, Arsenal are top on 71 points. Liverpool are second on 71 points as well. But Arsenal have a 9 better goal difference. And City just sit behind them too. 1 point behind on a goal difference of plus 40. 2 behind Liverpool and 11 behind Arsenal. So it's still all to play for with 7 games to go. I don't think you can have a favourite yet. I really don't think you can. As Liverpool have still got challenging fixtures to come. They've got a Merseyside derby at Goodison to deal with. They've got to go to West Ham away, Spurs at home and Aston Villa away as well. So they've got big challenges coming up alongside their Europa League running. And on his final season at Liverpool, Klopp's going for the treble. But it's far from easy for him. It's a draw here at Old Trafford. They drop points in a weekend where Arsenal and Manchester City both won. So will this be a pivotal point in the title race where Liverpool couldn't keep themselves on top? They swapped places with Arsenal. It is just on goal difference, they're second, but that's what this title race could come down to at the end of the day. It could come down to goal difference. What a game we've had here. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. That will be the end of the live commentary here. As from Old Trafford, we've been treated to another blockbusting game, this time in the Premier League. It finishes all square. Diaz gave Liverpool the lead in the first half. It was cancelled out by Fernandes at the start of the second. United took the lead with a quarter of the game to go through Mainoo with his first Old Trafford goal. It wasn't enough for the win. Salah scored a penalty to cancel it out, and that is what we'll have to settle for here. It's a 2-2 draw, a point apiece. As at Old Trafford it finishes Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2.